Tomorrow we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds. Another hot day with a high near 96. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Surprise for just a moment. I am Jake Sorensen in for about 2 minutes for Austin Norman. That's Jake Bach over in for Strick and Jay Foreman. Bach, you're still with us after all these hours. You're
That's
hanging
right.
in there on a Monday. It's busy Monday.
Well, we talked about it last week when we got to do
That's
some
true.
radio together. The Jakes don't get to combine too often, but now it's coming together.
No,
again.
the Jakes are hardly ever in the studio, and this is now 2 weeks in a row. We at least have had a segment together. We did a full hour on, I think, Thursday last week after media days from 2 to 3. And here we are for at least 5 minutes, if not 6, to begin the On the Block hour.
Here on a holiday, basically, as it is, it's fall camp
I know,
begins here
it feels
for
good.
Nebraska.
Let's go.
This feels like football is just around the corner.
You know what always feels like football is because it's 9 million degrees outside.
Well, that helps, yeah.
It is not truly the start of fall camp if it's not blistering hot. And I mean blistering hot. I just took a walk to the Haymarket to go see a client down there and came back. And I was outside for maybe 4 to 5 minutes both ways, and I don't think that I have a part of my body that's not sweating right now. Like I am a water faucet over here.
Kind of miserable out there, would you say?
Not great.
Yeah.
Not great. But you know what? Here's what I said on the way over there and the way back. This sucks. This is hot. I still would prefer this to 10 degrees and cold and snow. I will take this all day. I can survive in this. That stuff I can't survive. I know I can't take off more layers than I have now. Yeah, yes, you can always add layers in the winter. It doesn't matter to me because when I am cold, I am cold. I could be by the fireplace and my hands are just still blocks of ice. I hate that feeling of the hands thawing out. That's the worst feeling on earth. It's horrible. I hate it. I hate it.
I don't disagree with you. I would, if I had to do an extreme, I suppose it would be heat. Just because the cold is unbearable. But
yeah, it is.
That's why I'm just very firmly a spring fall guy, and then mostly a fall guy just because of, as we mentioned earlier, football goes along with that too. So I really enjoy the fall. Spring's fantastic. Summer, man, you better find a pool. And then, I just want to catch me outside in the winter.
Jake Paul will be there for 1-2 seasons a year. You should be living in Florida or something
That's right.
like that. You should live down south.
Probably will eventually, yeah.
Yeah, that one. It's a lot of times summer down there, though. Arizona's always hot. It's dry heat, but it's still hot. Still hot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like somewhere like that kind of stays like fall. That's why I always kind of thought like a Seattle or something where it's
It's raining.
Raining
It
and-
rains 200 days of the year in Seattle. You want to be
I
there
love
in
rain.
Seattle?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
Up
check
in
out.
Washington.
Austin's back. I'm glad I could start the show off for you guys, but I'm going to pass it back to Austin now as you guys get it going.
All right, we'll pass the baton back to Austin, who obviously is the man on the block. So good to have you back.
Thank you. It is good to be back as the grand poobah of logs. Had to clean up some business on the back end there, but we're good now. Sorry to break up the Jake party. I know y'all are very excited about that, you two and the listeners alike. So yeah, Buck, we're just gonna go simple. We'll go just some major kind of fall camp headlines. When you think about fall camp, 31 days away, this is where it starts to really feel like football for me. Sure, fine, media days. Yeah, it's kind of the kickoff for it. But man, it's the 28th. Guess what else happens on the 28th of the next month? We get kickoff down in Kansas City. Over these next really 30 days, before kickoffs on day 31, what are some of those storylines, those names that you're monitoring over the next 30 days?
Well, and Coach Rule talked a little bit about it, but the backup running back, or who's going to figure into the running back rotation outside of Emmett Johnson, I think is right up there for me as most interesting. And can there be a name or two that separates rather than, we got a pack of guys, we'll kind of see what happens. I was kind of talking about it there with Terrell, and I don't think coaches would like me saying this because I get what they're saying. I just heard it enough over the years of, our backup's going to be the guy that pass protects the best. And I get that. Again, that's an important part of the game. You want to be an all-around back. But to me, that means you don't have somebody separating as a runner. Because if you have somebody, that you undeniably have to give the ball, if he happens to be the best pass protector of the group, then sure. And you don't want it to be a tell. I mean, if you have a guy that's obviously coming in just to pass protect, but a lot of times, I mean, if it's 3rd and 11, then sure, and then it's already somewhat of a tell to begin with. So, I that's one thing that I would say over the years has started to just kind of, it got to me when I heard it today, is like, man, I've just heard that before. And usually that means there's not somebody standing out. Now they just started practice. We'll see. It's not that somebody hasn't stood out yet in fall camp. They haven't had a chance to, but I don't know. When that hit my ears, it was just kind of like, I don't know if I love it.
It's one of those things that is important, but it shouldn't be that important. I think you're right. It feels like a cover or like a tell in some sort of ways. It's the same reason that Alex Bullock got on the field. It's the same reason that Wyatt Lever and Levi Falk got on the field. Oh, they're such good perimeter blockers. We ask our receivers to block. If you can't block, you're not going to get the ball. We're not going to throw it your way. Great. Cool. But you know what I like more than a receiver who can block is a receiver who can run past a guy and catch the ball and score points.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't want to say embarrassing because clearly it's an important part of the job, but I don't think Nebraska's backs have been so bad at pass protection that needs to be the focus of every coach statement about running backs every offseason.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you get it because especially when you're talking to the media, you're kind of also signaling messages to your players as well. So I think it's partially, hey guys, this is important. When I tell you this, I'm telling everybody. And so, and it's not a running back's favorite thing to do, right? The running back wants to get the ball, wants to be able to show off what he can do. So I get emphasizing it, but it's just one of those things that, man, I just heard it too much. We just heard it too much, and we haven't had a running game obviously break out, a running back breakout. And that's part of this. I mean, I think a lot of it when we look at the running back position is, okay, we have Emmett, now what's next? But the last couple times, Nebraska's had a running back returning that we thought, okay, this is going to be pretty darn good. We already know kind of Anthony Grant's going to be good. Well, Anthony Grant didn't have near the 1,000-yard season he had his junior season, his senior season. Dedrick Mills probably should have got him more his senior year. I don't know why he didn't, but didn't have the same senior season as he did his junior season. Mm-hmm. So you have to go back a little bit before somebody's been able to capitalize off the momentum they've had. Now, obviously, none of that necessarily has anything to do with Emmett. That's the Huskers fans being burnt. And Emmett, for his own right, has had to fight through being the best running back, I think, each of the last 2 years and not getting as many carries or getting that the idea of being the best running back early on. And so I always thought that was interesting. Remember, he hit the transfer portal for a few days, or didn't officially enter it, but was going to. Nebraska went back there and got him. And I wonder if in how much that factored into this offseason at running back, because part of it is, man, if I'm Emmett and I earn the job and look like the best running back going into my third year once again, and then they go out and over-recruit me and put somebody else in front of me and say, yeah, Emmett, we got a spot for you, but it's not as the number one back, then yeah, I might be looking to hit the portal as well. loyalty and all that. I get play for the end and all that stuff, but for a guy that, again, I think has been the best running back and hasn't gotten as many carries as he's probably needed to each of the last couple of years, I could understand that. And so on the reverse of that, when they haven't gone out to the portal and they've just kind of added freshmen, there's a few days where they're looking at Sharmar Brown, that kind of came and went. I think that would have been a welcome addition. But again, it kind of just goes back to, what is the role for Emmett here? And I think it is that he's earned to be that number one back. So did that prohibit them from going out there and getting competition? Were they really good enough to feel good about these freshmen that are coming in? If they were moving over to the running back position. So it just continues to be a very fascinating position, trying to think of what's going on in that room beyond kind of what we're seeing. And then there's the EJ Barthel aspect of it. Is he getting the most out of his running backs in running game every year?
That's the direction I was going to go, is that number one, running back feels like a position that a freshman should be able to step on the field and contribute pretty quickly. Probably not good at everything all the time right away. But man, if he can make a couple guys miss and he's adjusted to the speed of the game, he can see where the holes are going to open up. Put him out there, gain the yards, right? Same thing with Emmett Johnson, right? I get why he would be frustrated and tired of getting recruited over. It kind of felt like that's what it was, even to the end of last year, where it felt like Nebraska would give all the touchdowns to Dante Dowdell. Like, hey, look at all these touchdowns you scored. We're featuring you. When maybe he knew that, oh yeah, Coach Dana liked Emmett Johnson a little bit more. So that kind of felt political. Oh, we paid for this guy out of the transfer portal. We kind of got to play him. And Buck, I'm not going to lie. I'm not 100% in on Emmett Johnson. I think he's good. Now, it's not his fault. Maybe that he hasn't proven it, for the course of 12 games. But also, if he was that undeniably good, either that's complete coaching malpractice on Nebraska's part to play the politics game and not let the guy that proved it be the guy, or maybe Emmett's just, okay, he's good. What else you got for us? If he's taking it personally that he's getting over-recruited, him entering the transfer portal in a sign of defiance isn't the way to do it. It's get better. It's go earn those reps and make sure you leave no doubt. And sure, maybe he and Coach Barthel don't get along. Maybe they have a great relationship. I don't know. But if Emmett Johnson was that good, I find it hard to believe that Nebraska would have gone out, and gotten another guy. I think getting a Charmar Brown out of the portal like you would have been huge for Nebraska, probably behind Emmett. But I don't think he's left no doubt that he's a number one in the Big Ten. He's good. He's had moments. But I think this is a huge year for Emmett, a huge year for EJ Barthel, because like you said, the fact that Isaiah Mosey can walk into his room, suggest a position switch, and already be a guy that Matt Rule is talking about getting the ball, either he's legitimately that special, and he did have a little bit of running back experience in high school, or that is a massive indictment that in year 3, EJ Barthel has maybe one viable Big Ten running back.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, the kind of the point you make, too, because I think locally, Emmett Johnson's elevated to like, man, he's one of our best players. He's going to be, great and all that.
Well, he can be one of Nebraska's best players and still not be a great running back, which says more about the state of the program.
Right. And I think that's where it's interesting, because I've had conversations, with Adam at times would say, okay, Emmett Johnson, is he being overlooked nationally and that sort of thing? And
no,
I think he had 3 touchdowns last year, 1 running. So yeah, I mean, I get why you would kind of look over him. Now, when Dana Holgerson came in, his usage rate went up considerably, not just in the running game, but also in the passing game. And so I think that's more of an idea of what we could get this upcoming year. And that guy that we saw in the last couple of games would project to be pretty darn good. Now, when you do get into, what is the goal at Nebraska? Is it to have a pretty darn good running back, or do you get into that this guy would start on any team in the Big Ten? And that's where Emmett Johnson does have a lot of hurdles still to get over. And that's part of the fascinating discussion, too, is just that, he's the kind of somewhat felt overlooked as the player of the year in Minnesota as a recruit, still came to Nebraska, felt like they had enough, interest level in him. And then, like I said, each of the last 2 years, I think finished as at least looking like the best running back, and didn't start as that, and maybe didn't get a carry against Illinois. That still baffles me in a game that they lost, and Emmett Johnson didn't get the ball. But remember, at the time, it was no sure thing. Ramir Johnson was fighting for playing time, and obviously Dowdell was kind of their main guy at that point in time. So it's fascinating, because I think that he has, I guess a lot of people kind of feel too, to me, he became their big play threat. They didn't really have a big play threat outside of him. And I don't mean big play threat as in like this guy can strike 75 at any time. It's It's more like he's going to get a 30 or 40-yard big play. And for Nebraska's offense last year, that was a pretty big play because they didn't really have somebody with, a Samari Toure or somebody like that was routinely rattling off these giant plays. And so the discussion is so fascinating because there does seem to be somewhat of a ceiling for Emmett, and as far as he's good at everything, not great at one thing, right? I mean, he doesn't have intimidating size, but it's enough that he can still run up the middle. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but again, he can still, get these 30, 40-yard runs down the sideline. Just kind of everything else that kind of goes into it. And that's why I feel like at times it does feel like, as a recruiter or at Nebraska, there's a temptation to look over him and look for something better without respecting what he does bring to the table. But then again, to your point, is his ceiling high enough that it's not just a good story, but is going to put you competitively in the Big Ten? I think he can. I think we saw it in games where he can do that. But can you do it game in, game out? That's where you kind of take that step up to be that type of threat.
Absolutely. And again, some of that's on the offensive line, right? Is it going to be good enough? Is there enough in the passing game that opens up some running lanes for him too? And I don't think we've seen Emmett Johnson's ceiling. I really hope we haven't seen the best of him. But again, I just want to be the one to pump the brakes a little bit. Again, have I seen the practices that other people have? No. But maybe this just puts me in the camp of jaded Nebraska fan, watched it time in, time out. Whenever the conversation around players like Emmett starts to reach this fever pitch, my first reaction is to get the bucket of cold water, right? Emmett Johnson can be a good player. Absolutely, right? I've enjoyed the flashes that we've seen from Emmett Johnson. He is a useful piece. Was he Kyle Monungai good? No, Monungai's a better running back, the last year than Emmett Johnson was. This year, would he start at Oregon? No. Would he start at Penn State? No. Would he start at Ohio State? No. Would he start at Minnesota? Saw their dude up close. No, I think Minnesota made the right choice for them. And again, that's not a knock on Emmett. Nebraska, can use Emmett more, which would be better, I think. But I also don't think Emmett Johnson is the guy that the season hinges on. Like if Emmett Johnson has a 1,000-yard season, really great. But if Emmett Johnson has a 550, 600-yard season, cool. Maybe that's just who he is. I just want to put in perspective that he can be one of the best players on Nebraska's team, one of the most important players on Nebraska's team, and still not mean that much in the grand scope of the Big Ten race, right? Matt Rule even said it today. We're going to need 3 or 4 guys to get through this season. If Emmett Johnson gets the lion's share of that work, 60, 65% of the carries, that means he got better. That's a step in the right direction, and he probably proved who he is as a Big Ten running back. And then you're looking for, hopefully, a pretty darn good senior season after that. But maybe we have to give the coaching staff the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's all Emmett Johnson is best at, is that he's best as, the 2 in a 1-2 punch, right? Maybe he does need a bruiser like a Dowdell to set things up for him a little bit before the end of the year. We don't know because we haven't seen Emmett Johnson outside of that role. And I'm not saying he can't be good. I'm not saying he can't be RB1. All I'm saying is let's not go out there and just anoint him one of Nebraska's best, most important players right now when we haven't seen it, right? To me, he's still an unproven because he's being asked to jump into a new role.
Yeah, and I think so much of that, too, though, is just there's no other names to point to and say, hey, we've seen that guy doing a Husker uniform or really at the college level in that running back room. So his importance is like
magnified.
It's just kind of, it's there at one level and then it blows up because you don't have any other idea of what else is going to go there. But then I also think sometimes, too, we get too much into this idea of like, what are you going to do if he goes down, right? Like, yeah, it would be bad. You don't have the proven aspect of it. But there's still going to be a guy who has a D1 scholarship that knows how to run the ball and, has gotten this far. They're not just going to like, it's not going to be like, it's all right. Well, it's just going to be, we're going to put Bach out there, see if he can roll around for a few yards. Like they'll still have somebody there, but you also want him to get to the point where it would be, kind of hurt. I mean, that's how you have good players when it does hurt you when they go down. And so I think he's in that conversation. I'm fascinated to see this year for him. And that's why, he kind of opened up, asked me in that running back room, just for so many different reasons, from coach to Emmett to backups to freshmen to position changes, all that stuff. And then, like you said, how much of it really even factors in unless they get a good push from their offensive line to begin with. And all this is to open up a passing game with all these lethal targets they brought in at wide receiver. And of course, Dylan Raiola kind of being the face of the franchise at this point. So, it all kind of blends together. It all kind of intermingles, but it just feels, it feels like a huge season from it. And you did say something I thought was kind of interesting is that you don't know if, the difference between a 600 and 1,000-yard season would be that big of a difference. Again, my only, way to combat that would be, well, do you have somebody else getting that 400? Or are you, we've seen years, and this isn't going to be the year, where Husker quarterbacks lead the team. 2 years ago, Heinrich Harburg led the team in rushing. Of course, Adrian Martinez went through that, and you just never had much of a running game. You're not going to get that out of your quarterback. So even, in this case, it's even more important that you do get it from the ground game. And so I don't know. To me, I think there is quite a bit of difference, not necessarily just in rushing yards, though, because he's an all-around back. He's going to be used heavily in the passing game. So if he can kind of be 1,300 yards total, I think that would be a huge key for Nebraska's offense, not just in that, okay, they've got a running game somewhat consistent, they've got a weapon on the backfield, but in that it would open up so much more for everybody else. If you're kind of getting towards 600 and you're the lead back, and, you're talking about maybe 50, 60 yards a game there, that would be an indictment on what this offense looks like in the height they have in it. But again, the conversation can roll over to, well, what if the backup gets 600 yards? Then, and then you're fine. You're back to where I was stating to begin with.
Absolutely. It just felt like last year was a little like Anthony Grant, A.J. Allen-ish. Now, Emmett Johnson played much more than A.J. Allen did, had like quadruple the carries that he did. And it's not a one-to-one example by any means. But I think that Nebraska's top guys haven't always shown the ceiling that fans thought they would out of the transfer portal, right? Dowdell didn't have the speed that maybe we thought he did coming out of, the state of Mississippi, out of Oregon as well. Anthony Grant was hit or miss. Dedrick Mills, hit or miss in that conversation as well. And I'm not trying to say Emmett Johnson's role isn't important, right? I'm also not trying to be a hater. Again, I'm just trying to slow the roll and pump the brakes, because if Emmett Johnson goes out and let's say he splits the difference, what if it's 750 rushing yards? What if it's, 200, 250 receiving yards, because teams know that that's what Dana Holgorsen wants to do with him, and they scheme up ways to take it away. Number one, that's a step in the right direction for Emmett Johnson, right? That would be more yards than he's had on campus, and I think it would be a solid sign of growth and progress. Would that be program changing? Would that be season changing? No, I really don't think it would be. And I'm rooting for Emmett to be a franchise changer, right? Who doesn't love the underdog, the little guy, the overlooked guy coming out of nowhere and putting up a season like that? I'm here for it. That'd make Nebraska's life so much easier across the board on offense. I'm just saying, it sounds to me, Bach, like a lot of people are taking that as a given. Oh, he's going to do that. Oh, it's the Dana Holgorsen effect. Or I'm saying, okay, it can happen, but I'm just not quite in that boat of convinced that it's happening yet.
If it does not happen, what do you think the offense looks like from there? Obviously, there'd be a lot more of a focus on the passing game. And I think you could have the same kind of conversation for some of the guys that are coming in. Dane Key and Isaiah Hunter, yeah, great numbers coming in. Again, with Dane Key, not a whole lot of touchdowns like Emmett last year. But, we've seen wide receivers come in here and not quite live up to the expectation as well. Is there a chance this offense didn't take a huge step in points per game last year? It felt like it was a lot better than the year before because they didn't turn the ball over as much. Then this past season, they missed a bunch of field goals and stuff that could have helped out. But so far in the Matt Rule era, I think neither team has averaged over 25 points per game. If that happens again this year, when the offense looks like it could be the strength of the team or needs a step up from the offense, it could spell some trouble.
It kind of worries me that we could be in for 2017 all over again, where your leading rusher was Devine Azigbo, 130 carries, 480 yards. Then behind that, you had Mikhail Wilbon, 88 carries, 379 yards, 4 per carry, essentially. And then Trey Bryant, 51 carries, 299 yards, and 6 yards per carry. That wasn't just 2 games, though. So yeah. Trey Bryant was tearing it up, and then the injuries hit, which obviously we're not rooting for that for anyone on Nebraska's team. That would tell me short passing game, quick passing game, or Nebraska goes to a lot of deep shots, high risk, high reward kind of stuff. So, Bach, appreciate you sitting in. Sorry to break up the Jake party again with you and Sorensen, but we're going to hit up Brian Munson on our Allo Fiber VIP line. Appreciate you sitting in, Bach.
Absolutely. Had fun.
We'll talk some Husker recruiting and some fall ball headlines with Brian on the other side.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. It'll be hot and humid with a high around 101. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds, with a low around 75. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds. Another hot day with a high near 96. I'm meteorologist Kyle Husker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
You're invited to Valentino's big jumbo anniversary party, and we've got a gift just for you. On Thursday, July 31st, only buy one jumbo 16-inch pizza at a regular price and get a second pizza free. Hamburger or cheese pizza only on original crust. It's our way of saying thanks for sharing Valentino's tradition for over 68 years. Celebrate with a slice of Valentino's tradition on us. Pre-orders start July 30th, online, by phone, or in person, and the offer is good for July 31st only for carry-out or delivery at participating Valentino's locations.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
when only the best will do. Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs has been an trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloff.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We are back here, Austin Norman, with you for now. DP will hop in just a minute, probably at the top of the hour, to hang out with me for a little bit. But we are headed to our Aloe Fiber VIP line. That's where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We welcome in Brian Munson of Husker Online. B. Munson, we know you're down in Texas. We know it gets hot down there. I think we're hitting 100 today, and with the humidity, we're in the feels like in the 110s, at least rumor has it. Is that the same for you down there?
It's been that way. Actually, what was funny was, I think it was yesterday afternoon, we received a heat index warning for the next 2 days and 6 hours. I've never seen that before. So for like the next 54 hours from that point on Sunday afternoon, we were in a heat index warning. So it's been pretty brutal. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we just got back from Tennessee as well, and in the mountains it was great. In Nashville it wasn't so much. Coming back here though, kind of the same deal. But yeah, it's been pretty brutal.
Does that make it feel like football down in Texas?
Honestly, it does. It's so sad because, they kind of work around the heat differently here. Like you'll even hear about high school coaches kicking off their fall camp, and they'll go out to work at 10 o'clock at night. And they'll go from 10 o'clock till midnight, trying to get out of the heat a little bit. So it's, we're not quite into that yet. We're still wrapping up our last week of conditioning, and then we'll see that kind of like what happens when camp opens up. But yeah, it's usually that this is how the start of fall camp typically feels, unfortunately, for those guys out there.
We'll start in recruiting, Brian, before we talk some Nebraska football fall camp. You just recently wrote about Kylon Haney out of the Omaha area. He's been a priority target for Nebraska for that 2027 class at running back. How does it sound like things are going between Haney and the Huskers, and what do they like about him?
I think things are going well. I mean, I think that Haney understands that he has some competition for maybe what might just be one spot for a running back in the 2027 class. I think he's well aware of that. I think he doesn't know who necessarily it is, but I think that Coach Barthel, has kind of told him that there's another guy that they're got their eye on. They're having to recruit him, etc. So I think Haney knows, what's at stake. And I think he feels very connected with Coach Barthel. I think that he has felt that way basically since the offer went down. I think he feels, he's got some pride that kind of goes along with it, being a guy that's from Omaha. I think he recognizes that. Obviously he's got his teammate there, Torrey Pittman. The two of them, basically represent, two of only three offers to players in the 2027 class, from Nebraska. So says a lot about that unit there next year or this fall at Central. But I think Haney feels like the Nebraska offense is just a really good fit. Like he looked at the guys that were in it, in the room last year, said, well, they're all kind of different looking. They all kind of do different things, and I can kind of do all of those things. And I'm really kind of working my way up to being a big play threat, like he just didn't rip off as many long runs as what he had, prior to this last season. And he's really kind of worked to increase his and improve his straight line speed. So I think, and Kylon's, geez, I'm telling you, if you've not watched his like lifting videos on social media, that dude is strong. He is incredibly strong. So he's really put together, and obviously I think that's important for Nebraska, because I think you have to have that kind of build to be successful in the Big Ten, to be durable.
You mentioned Torrey Pittman as well, right? That's a guy that Nebraska has certainly been interested in. Some sites have elevated him to a 5-star, but a lot of places still, 4-star bordering on 5. But either way, that's a top 30, top 20-ish player in the class. How's Nebraska sitting with Torrey Pittman? What do they see in him, and who else is in on him?
I'm actually talking to Torrey tonight. I wish I knew better. But I mean, from talking to Torrey before in the past, the Huskers are there. I mean, it's absolutely going to be one of those things where it's going to be interesting to see what kind of market he is able to establish for himself this fall. That's really, really what's going to kind of be interesting to watch, because I think my assessment right now of like Matt Rule and what's happening at Nebraska is I'm not sure, how much money there is for a guy right out of high school to play safety. I don't know if they really, see that as being that kind of big dollar kind of position. I think that they've had to go out, they had to go back and maybe kind of rewrite the rules around offensive tackles. And I think that that's finally led to, them having some success. But I just don't know. I don't know what the market's going to be on tour. I imagine that the market, when it gets set this fall for Torrey Pittman, it's going to be a big number. It's going to be a very big number, in fact. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how all that stuff kind of plays out as we kind of move into the spring and into the summer. But I think the Huskers are definitely right there in terms of teams that he is interested in.
It's interesting you bring that up because I want to go now to John Butler, right, as the new defensive coordinator, also the secondary coach. It's not like Buffalo had, slouch safeties. And I feel like in the NFL, at least, Brian, safeties are those, kind of erasers, right? You got a lot of the do-it-all guys, whether they can, play over the middle of the field, they can go, hash to hash or hash to sideline, opposite sideline, whatever it is. Do you have any recollection of from when John Butler was in Buffalo, how he used his safeties and the type of guy he might be looking for to fill that mold?
Well, he had a couple All-Pros back there. He's got usually a guy that's kind of a thumper and usually a guy that's kind of more rangy. And I think he usually kind of built his defense around those two safety positions, and kind of where, things are kind of dropped off, honestly, since he's not been in Buffalo. If you asked me, a Buffalo Bills fan, that's where I would kind of say that safety play has been erratic. Injuries have been plaguing them back there. They don't have the dependable two all-pro safeties that they had just 3 years ago. So they build around safeties. And I think that they kind of feel like that eraser role, like you had mentioned, is very, very important to have on the football field. And I think that it's quite the collection, I think, of skills to play that position and be successful with it at the next level. I think guys that don't have that lack the right foot speed, they get exposed. Guys that aren't typically rangy enough, guys that don't know how to play a ball in the air, guys that can just come downhill and just waylay guys. They have a value, but you'd really think more of those guys as kind of maybe even being like a second level dude, like a Milano that's kind of played safety at Boston College that gets moved into linebacker. Although he's still good in space, he's really good in the box. So I think Butler's got a really good eye for what makes players potentially very successful at the next level when it comes to the guys historically he's worked with before at Buffalo.
We're talking with Brian Munson of Husker Online here on our Allo Fiber VIP line. That was a sidetrack conversation from where I saw it going, but I think that's really instructive. Back to the offense and back to the running back position here, Brian, a guy that we spent some time talking about throughout the course of the last year, making some waves over the summer and into fall camp as well. And that's the Kansas City product, Isaiah Mosey, follows his dad to Lincoln. Sounds like Isaiah Mosey was one that requested the position switch from wide receiver to running back. And if I'm not mistaken, he did play the position a little bit in high school, even though receiver was his primary position, correct?
Right. No, they got him involved. I mean, I remember talking to his coach so much last season because some of his numbers were just eye-popping. And they just did such a great job of trying to find ways to get him the football to make them successful. And I think, honestly, if you're probably talking to his former high school head coach a little bit about the way the season ended, it might come down to the fact that maybe they didn't get him the football enough in more creative ways, and maybe potentially there was a chance for a state championship. If he does do that, and Mosey's been able to kind of be able to put more of a stamp on it. But I think the time in Lincoln so far has done Isaiah well. He's been able to kind of get into the weight room. He's been able to kind of stack on some weight. He's been able to see things that are important to the offense. I think he's a really, really smart guy. And I think that when you kind of take that and you say, well, I've got a diverse background and I've got an ability to kind of be a first down running back, and I can do some things that are similar and different to EJ, as Nebraska kind of still struggles to kind of find another, suitable replacement backup kind of guy for EJ. Mosey, is a guy that is stepping into a pretty valuable role and could have a big season for Nebraska. Somebody that not a lot of us were kind of planning on as a running back, but could have seen him obviously having a good season as a wide receiver as well. But yeah, this could be a really great move for him to kind of play a bigger role for Nebraska this fall.
Do you think it's a credit to Isaiah Mosey that he recognized the potential, opportunity in front of him at running back, or is that more of a knock maybe on what EJ Barthel has and hasn't been able to accomplish in terms of just getting bodies that are ready to go in that room?
Well, I don't think it helped. I don't think it helped the team that, Jamarian Parker, was not around basically in the spring. I don't think he took part in anything today either. No. It's really, you've really got to kind of try to figure out what's kind of going on with Parker. Is this a situation here where obviously he's still dinged up and he's still trying to get through things? Like I said, when you have that really productive winter and spring that did Mosey's body right, imagine if you just could have stayed healthy as Jamarian Parker, to where what good that could have done for him. You're still playing catch up in the playbook. Now you're playing catch up on your body and trying to get it right to go play Big Ten football from, high school football in Arkansas. In Missouri. I'm just sitting here going, I don't think that things have kind of gone the best for Parker so far, and now it seems like they're carrying on into fall camp. So I think that that's probably one of the biggest reasons is there's a gap in the room, because I think it was Parker's spot. If he could just kind of step up into it and be that guy, and then I think you had two kind of change of pace guys. With like Connor Booth, who got some kudos from some people today, and Quentin Ives, that are kind of a couple bigger back dudes. So, yeah, I think that this is a good move for Mosey and what he could do for Nebraska back there.
Not just to play all the hits, but how much of this current quandary at running back is maybe due to the Kawan Lacey saga not going Nebraska's way?
It could have been. I mean, I think that when you miss on a guy like that, you need to be able to kind of be able to go back and say, obviously you're going to feel some impact the following year, but you need to be able to kind of take a step forward in year two and not feel still the impacts from that one. But Lacey, I think we would agree, all felt like he was a very talented individual. He certainly would have been in position, to be challenging, EJ for probably starting on the team, this fall. So it's interesting. It's kind of you hope that that's not the case, but obviously if you kind of sat down and thought about it in terms of his talent and his abilities and how Nebraska kind of valued him, it probably does still play a factor.
Last thing then before we let you go, Brian, as the calendar flips from July to August here in just a few days, we know that we're 31 days out from the kickoff between Nebraska and Cincinnati. In terms of that Kansas City game, what will Nebraska be able to do in terms of recruiting? We know there's a lot of connections down there, especially with Jamar Mosey. Will Nebraska be able to invite any players in the Kansas City area to that game? Or what are kind of the rules, regulations around a game like that at Arrowhead?
It's a great question, because I think that when, being down here in Dallas, where the Red River rivalry kind of takes place, I don't think that those schools can invite recruits to that game, even like when one team is the home team and the other team is like visitor, because of the neutral site. So I gotta think that if you're going to the game, it's going to be very much like a bowl game. I would think that you would just have to be kind of a paying person that would have a chance to kind of go in there and just watch the game from your seats. Like if you were going to watch Nebraska play against Minnesota later on this season at Minnesota, you just have to kind of pay the price of admission and kind of sit down on the seats. But I will look into that a little bit further, but I don't think there's anything Nebraska can really do to host recruits in Kansas City. I think it'd be more like we're going to play these games. And if you're from this area, it's cool because now your folks can come down and watch you play here, which is a lot closer than having to go to Piscataway, or somebody else, somewhere else too. Like, you're going to play essentially another home game if you stay in the area.
Makes sense. I just didn't know, since Nebraska's been trying to recruit Kansas City more, if that could be a boost to the Huskers or not. Brian Munson, Husker Online, with us here on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. B. Munson, as always, appreciate your time, appreciate your insight. Excited to get back into the swing of football season, football recruiting. Thanks a ton for always joining us, and great to talk to you, man.
Stay cool, man. Drink that water.
Yes, sir. That's Brian Munson of Husker Online again with us on our Aloe Fiber VIP line. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of both exceptional service and local heart. We'll be back briefly, wrap up hour 1, dive into more fall camp headlines coming up in hour 2 on the block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This just in. Hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready-mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's nebcoinc.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're invited to Valentino's big jumbo anniversary party, and we've got a gift just for you. On Thursday, July 31st, only buy one jumbo 16-inch pizza at a regular price and get a second pizza free. Hamburger or cheese pizza only on original crust. It's our way of saying thanks for sharing Valentino's tradition for over 68 years. Celebrate with a slice of Valentino's tradition on us. Pre-orders start July 30th, online, by phone, or in person, and the offer is good for July 31st only for carry-out or delivery at participating Valentino's locations.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're wrapping up hour one of On the Block here on a Monday. Fall camp day one for the Huskers. Matt Rule took the podium. Heard some of that during Bach and the Black Shirt. Plenty more to get into from the Nebraska head coach, probably coming up in the next hour or two, whether that's the second hour of On the Block or into Old School. Both shows, by the way, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredient Butcher Shop. They've got 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha. Here in Lincoln, they're at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and 85th and Old Cheney. Up in Omaha, they're at 168th and Maple. You can check out their selection online at themercadobutcher.com or stop into any of those 4 local locations today. As always, 402-464-5685. You got any comments, any questions, any concerns, we will certainly field those throughout the course of the show. Did want to pass along some news from west and south of the border for Nebraska. Colorado, right? Coach Deion Sanders had a press conference with a couple doctors from, I believe, the University of Colorado system. Turns out that Coach Prime, the health issue he was dealing with over the offseason was a cancerous tumor on his bladder. Scary. The ESPN story that I read mentioned that he didn't say anything about it to either his sons or to Travis Hunter throughout the course of the NFL draft process. But in the press conference today, in which he was wearing some really nice denim overalls, so shout out to Deion Sanders for that. Sounds like at the very least the tumor is gone. My understanding is they took the entire bladder out as well, which I don't know how common a procedure that is or not. But regardless, glad to hear for his sake that Coach Prime is on the mend. The doctors were saying again, in reference to this ESPN piece, thanks to them for the information, that he is cured from cancer. This is something they apparently found while he went in just for a normal sort of scan, right? Because we know that Coach Sanders has dealt with blood clots in his legs for a while that's led to some issues. And during one of his scans, they discovered the tumor on his bladder. Sounds like everything got resected, and Coach Prime is good to go. We're good to go into hour 2 of On the Block. We'll bring DP in, talk plenty more at Nebraska fall camp, and then maybe even some baseball. Another player, this time a big name, suspended for part of a gambling probe from the Cleveland Guardians. That's their closer, Emmanuel Clase. We'll bring DP in, talk a little bit about that. Certainly more Husker fall camp and your comments and questions when we return to hour 2 of On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete in Lincoln. With 3 plants across the city, there are plenty of opportunities to start or grow your driving career. They offer great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they cover the cost of CDL training. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Since 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today with ready mixed concrete. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
It's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Austin Norman here with you during On the Block, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Again, visit themercadobutcher.com to learn more. Don't forget Thursdays and Fridays. They offer meals for you. On Fridays, it is at the 84th and Havelock location, and then I believe it is the location at the Cyclery at the 85th and Old Cheney for Fired Up Thursdays. Check out the menu again at themercadobutcher.com. We're bringing in DP for hour 2 of On the Block. DP, what's good?
Everything's good. Everything good. Today's a blessing, and I am just having a real good time with being here. Being here is man, it's important. I can tell you, just good to be here.
We appreciate you stepping in here for hour 2 of On the Block and everything as well around.
You only asked me for an hour. I was like, why? What else are you going to do for the next hour behind that?
Well, Jay's available after that.
Okay.
So the Husker Hall of Famer wants to talk some fall camp. You know what? Fine, Jay. Fine. Fine. I have your number. You have the station number. We'll
say less.
While we're on fall camp, DP, a lot of talk coming out of the Nebraska side of things, both at Big Ten Media Days, where we were for a few days last week, and then it got reiterated again today by Matt Rule and by at least Luke Lindenmeyer, who took the podium. Player-led team. Player leadership. When you hear those buzzwords, that phrase, what comes to mind for you? How does that look in a program?
Well, I mean, it is a thing that you hold each other accountable. The players will set the standard for how hard a team is working, how things work in the corners, getting to places that coaches can't get to. There's certain places in the dorm room that coaches can't get to, that at private workouts you can't get to, text chains, group chats you can't get to. You need somebody in the room who will speak to the higher standard and not only speak to it, but demand it. You need somebody. We were talking about the 4 pillars of choosing captains, and that one of them has to be the smartest. One is the best athlete. One is the one that will work the hardest no matter what. And then the one that will lead the locker room. Because it's required. You need somebody that is the academic voice. You need somebody that is the integrity. Hey, man, that's not what we do. Carriers of culture, right? That if you're in year 3, Matt Rule has new coordinators. So what he needs are people that can speak to the Matt Rule standard when Matt Rule is not in the room, right? Because the coordinators have their own, like they're learning campus, they're learning the players, right? They're learning these things. The players know, the veteran players know, and you have to have people in those rooms who will say, this is it, this is not it. I used to have my veteran players, so my seniors will write letters to the incoming freshmen. Here are the rules of the program. And then the rising juniors will carry those letters, deliver them, and then add to them. So if you know what I'm telling Austin Orman are the rules of the game, it's much easier to uphold them and then reset the standard. So player-led teams, 1, in the work, 2, in the idea of the work. Like why? Like why do we need to outwork? And then what's the verbiage? Like what are the things that are said the most by the people who talk the most?
What are those buzzwords that when you hear them, you know exactly what it means, you fall right back in line?
Snap to attention, to come through and say, hey, listen, tempo. Like get from one station to the other. Tempo. Get your hand in the dirt. I don't need you up here dancing around and plodding around. I don't need a quarterback back there. Barry Thompson likes to talk about that if his quarterback wastes 10 seconds per rep, that will cost him 35 reps in a practice. Whew. Right. That those are 35 additional reps by just a quarterback standing, looking, wiping his towel, doing all those things, right? Waiting for a player who's jogging out to a position, a running back not in play, a lineman not with his hand in the dirt ready to get to work. All of those things, they add up. And so you have to know what your boundaries are and what your standards are. That's what player-led teams can do, because coaching, sometimes it's the voice. Players, I'll look you in the eye and tell you that ain't it.
Couple things then on that. The message that had been propped up, displayed on the Memorial Stadium scoreboard all offseason and around the clock, probably around the other facilities as well. 3 letters, DP, W-I-N, win. Obviously, that's what Husker fans want Nebraska to do. But first day of fall camp, that message changed. Now, I'm sure it's still there. But the message that was up there today, being reported by a couple sources and people we know that were at practice, is one that I think resonates with a lot of what Matt Rule said at Big Ten Media Days, especially during his little side podium session. The 2 words that are now up there, own it. Own it. That, to me, it speaks to accountability. And I think there are some quotes from Matt Rule that I'm just going to read you from his side podium that I think we could have seen this new mantra, these new 2 words coming. One of the quotes that stood out to me on the side podium, he was asked, what's a deciding factor for you guys in close games? Number 1, you just got to get better. Kurt Schilling said when he signed with the Red Sox, he said it's been a curse of talent. We just haven't been good enough. When you're in a close game in those moments, are you excited to be there? Okay. Another quote from Matt Rule. Everyone is owning the product. We knew we walked into a place that was going to take some time to fix, and I think we're close to fix. In reference to Dylan Raiola, come help me turn around Nebraska. It's going to be hard. Doing something hard is how we become great. That Iowa loss was really painful, but sometimes it's the pain you need. It's the pain that spurs you forward in the off season. Mm-hmm. Not to say accountability hasn't been a part of what Nebraska's been doing before, but this all in light of Big Ten Media Days sounds very intentional, seems very intentional from Matt Rule and his staff that, guys, we're done with excuses. We're done with this bounce or that bounce. Everyone on the team has to get better. And then if you're better, the team will be better. Own yourself.
Well, that falls. I can generally in these spaces, you reference other coaches that you've been around and what they spoke to, acted in, et cetera. Urban Meyer used to say, in owning it, was win your rep, win your thing, whatever your thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's 1 rep, win it. And if it's your group, win it. Mm-hmm. Like if you're the receivers, you have to be better than the defensive backs that day. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every rep, all of them. The own it part is accountability. It can get you into sticky water, right? Because then you're putting accountability, it's moved. Who's responsible for the thing? Because you have to say it to both the player and the coaches. The assistants, the group leader, own it.
Mm-hmm.
If your group's not good enough, get better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't want to know why. I need you to get better. Like you're supposed to know why. You were supposed to know why before we went through this practice where you weren't prepared and you weren't competitive and you didn't win your battle.
Mm-hmm.
Your guys didn't win your battle. And in those cases, it's a matter of not only you not winning the rep, like consistently you're not winning the rep. So I don't want an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Before the practice, before drills, you will tell me what you're trying to accomplish because that's the standard setter. And then you're going to say, matchups, here's what my receivers should be able to do against these defensive backs. Defensive backs, here's what we're going to take away. Because quite frankly, you can say today's an inside leverage practice. Okay, then you expect some losses on the outer thirds. But if you say we're in man coverage and we need to win the man coverage battles, okay, now own it. Own it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make an excuse. Make a way.
And that also stands out in light of a text that we got at Big Ten Media Days when we were talking about Minnesota. Oh, is it a Friday night curse for Nebraska? Is Nebraska-Minnesota that matchup cursed? Jay said it, Nick said it, I said it. It's not a curse. Just get better. Matt Rule, in fact, referenced the game against Boston College. He said, what I saw for the first time was not a lot of panic, but that panic comes from when you don't think you control what happens.
chaos.
When it's someone else's fault, when it's, oh, that's an unlucky bounce, when it's, oh, my quarterback didn't make the play, or oh, my offensive lineman missed a block. Matt Rule says in the Boston College game, finally the team grows up and they say, well, I've got to go make the play. And that's not selfish. That's winning your rep.
Well, and that's at every level in every group. Like, don't make an excuse. Here's the thing about long-term programs. Short-term programs, you have to get an answer right away. Like, you figure it out. Make the kick, make the block, make the read, make the play, finish, right? All those things. And there's a whole chart for all the things you have to do. Be prepared, know what's coming, and remove chaos. Removing chaos is a preparation in full statement. That, listen, I know anything they throw at me, there is a rule and a technique to beat it. For everything. It happens in basketball, it happens in baseball. Listen, you can jump the route if you want. There's a rule for that if a quarterback knows and the receiver sees it. There's a rule if they're in cover 2 and you need 3 yards. There's a rule for throwing late across the middle, deep to the corner. There are rules for it. And if you're willing to know the rules and then act accordingly. Some people got really funky with Jameis Winston the other day saying, it's not a matter of the result. It's, did I make the right read? And competency starts, it's actually better. There are guys who make plays who have no idea what's going on. They're just that athletic.
It's like Brett Favre asking, what's nickel?
Yeah, what's a nickel? You go, wait a minute, how'd you get here? How'd you get here? You're that talented. But also that explains so much about who Brett Favre was as a person and as a quarterback. That, yes, talent, arm talent, he was unique. What does this say? 90-cent body, 10-cent head? That's the thing. So through all of it, own it. Come in to the studio. Be prepared for anything that somebody in the text line could ask. Be prepared in the subjects and topics you want to talk about. So much so that if anybody asks you about it, you could explain it simply. Can you explain it simply? Yeah. If you can't, get back to work.
Get better at it. Get back to work. 402-464-5685. DP, we have a text from One-Eyed Ray. He says, what up, DP? Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, One-Eyed Ray. Appreciate it. It is a great day to get older. Because not everybody gets to get older. Now, I have friends that didn't get that. So I'm thrilled to still be here in Lincoln, Nebraska. So
Crowbait on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line finds a picture of our guy, Big Swim Nick Sainert, out at Big Ten Volleyball Media Days. Sent that just a few minutes ago. We'll await the full transcript, give you the quote from Coach Danny Busboom Kelly, then players Rebecca Alec and Harper Murray as well. DP, we know it feels like football season, certainly getting to volleyball season, and that's a program that, talk about owning it, needs to own what happened at the end of last year against Penn State. 2 points to go to advance to the national championship game. Plays to be made in the 4th and 5th set that they didn't do it. Certainly a talented bunch for the Huskers. Really curious to see how prevalent that own it mindset is for them. They don't got to get much better, but they do have to get a little bit better.
Well, they know how good they can be, and then they know how good they should be. That 2-point loss is the series, an accumulation of a bunch of other things. There are 100 ways for them to correct and make the plays that they could have made on all the points against, missed opportunities, missed blocks, penalties, turnovers, all those things. So the 2 points is just symptomatic of a series of other things that happened. That was the issue with Nebraska football prior to the Matt Rule era and those 1-digit losses. Is that, no, that's just a symptom of bad diet. Like, you consumed a whole lot of bad things for that result to keep showing up in a pimple, big pimple, large pimple, small pimple.
The previous 56 minutes added up to the final 4 minutes.
Yeah, like,
every time.
Wait a minute. In most of those cases, Nebraska could have been ahead by 2 scores going into the moments that existed. Penn State will have those issues. Oregon adjusting and going, wait a minute. Listen, we don't like the way our last game ended. We don't like the way it felt. Like, we thought we could get away with the nonsense that we had gotten away with. We won anyway, even with the flawed, even with the gap defense problems, run accountability, getting pressure on the quarterback in critical moments, and then having to take risks and bring an extra defender to do it. leaving your defensive backs vulnerable to some elite pass catchers. Okay, adjust. And if you ask Oregon, Dan Lanning will tell you he's got a bunch of things to fix. Amongst them, they got to get bigger, faster, stronger. So we go get it. You know what?
What did you hear? Like 1,300 pounds, he said?
He
something
said,
like that?
we have gained 1,300 pounds the offseason. If you tell me, quick math, if you're just saying 105, and remember, your kickers aren't gaining weight. So, right, your kickers, punters, specialists, it's not necessarily what you're trying to do. So the big guys got bigger. One, on both sides of the ball, we need to move people. We need to be able to run the ball to give our defense some rest. Defensively, we need to be able to get off the field short and distance, right? Third and short, oh my goodness, can we get off the field? Nope, stop giving up 3.5. Right, that half yard all the time measures up. So coaches know what they want to do right now this week is plant the seed for fans to know we're aware. We want you to be aware. Like, we know this is a slugfest. This one, as the old wrestlers would say, this is a Donnybrook, right? You're going to have to, a slobber knocker. You're going to have to fight your way through. And do you have the toughness? Do you have the intellect? Do you have the plan, the verbiage, all those things in place? This is the time of year where everybody has to.
Everyone thinks they have the answers right now.
Well, you could. No, everybody, there are folks, I can tell you, there's probably 3 or 4 coaches that legitimately think they have a chance to win the national title right now today. The rest of them, this is when you got to look in the mirror. You've been in the dark. Like, you don't even know. You've been in the dark. You haven't looked in the mirror. You've been working, right? It feels like you're working. Feels like you're eating, right? Right? And you feel like, you know what? I can go to the beach. I put 30 days of work in, 60 days of work in. Till you go to the beach and you see the dude from Huntington Beach, California, who's really been on the beach putting in work. And that dude is rocked and he is flexing and you go, wait a minute. Our work wasn't the same. That wasn't it. We get to see at the Big Ten Media, we get to see the bigs from the Big Ten. Hey, man, I don't know what you came in here with, but it don't look like you're shopping at the same stores, at the same grocery stores they shopping at, because them suits fit different. The walk is different. The neck size is different.
A little thicker. Jawline
different, right? Shoes are different, right? He go, wait a minute.
Wait a sec.
Wait. So yeah, everybody I really think, and I'd love you to ask Jay, I really think there's 3 or 4 coaches who legitimately think in the Big Ten, there are 4 coaches who think they're good enough. And of the 4, even, I think that there may only be 2 who really believe that this is a year that I would think Ohio.
Ryan Day, James Franklin.
I would think that the Ohio State and Penn State are the 2 that really believe. Because, listen, Oregon got manhandled. Like, you got thumped.
Yeah.
So all that swagger, you can't have bravado and a limp. Like, like, you're still healing from what happened. Indiana can talk about it, but do they really?
They're trying to manifest it more so than they believe it.
Does Michigan really believe that in the post non-cheat Michigan era that they're the team to beat? No. And the people talking are the people who are leaving.
Right.
Right. So, okay.
Illinois probably wants to be in that conversation, but they're in the Indiana
boat. Hey man, we just trying to catch some people off guard, bro. We just, they really don't think that they could just man up and press up. Now, they're all going to tell you that they're legitimate Big Ten conference contenders. Listen, we can have the discussion about Nebraska and say, we can look at Nebraska's schedule, the transfers in on the transfer portal, the remaining depth, right, on the roster, and we can look at their actual schedule and say, with 4 road games, a 5th neutral game, but 4 official road games where you're going to be favored in 3 of them.
Woo.
Right?
Kind of scary.
Well, you're going to be favored in the 3 road games. You're not going to be favored at Penn State.
Minnesota's probably coin flip.
Well, but here's the thing: if Nebraska does what the schedule says it can do, and this is okay, let me become the coach version of DP. That if I've put in the real work in the offseason and I've got 30 days to get this roster ready to beat a Minnesota team when I think this roster is more talented than the team that gave Minnesota some wins, right, that they didn't deserve. If I get Cincinnati in an away home game, then I've got Cupcake 1 and Cupcake 2. I'm 3-0. I get Michigan to come here after their brawl with Oklahoma. They got to come to Memorial to face a 3-0 Nebraska team that's starting to smell itself without its head coach and some issue, right? Everything, all the boxes, check. Hey, man, what if you accidentally back into 4-0 and you look into the rest of the schedule and go, well, wait a minute. They legitimately could be undefeated going to USC, into the USC game here, and then follow that with a UCLA game in Los Angeles, which is a get-even game. It's a get-back game.
Yeah.
So technically, if this team does everything that Nebraska fans want it to do, maybe not expect them, but want, they roll into a Penn State, Nebraska game undefeated with the whole country watching. Now, I don't think there's anybody that expects them to win that game. I don't think there's anybody that expects them, no matter what the record is. But at 7-0, we're having different conversations.
And let's say Nebraska gets there, or Penn State will have already played Oregon. They'll host them. That'll be the same week, I believe, that Nebraska hosts Michigan. And they will have already gone to Ohio State. And we know that Penn State doesn't always handle that well. So Nebraska, if what you're saying is true, could come in with a better record.
With a better record, right? Listen, if they are who they say they are and who they want to be, they're not afraid to go to College Park. They're not afraid of Minnesota.
Shouldn't be.
You should be. Listen, you respect them, but are you afraid of them? Especially if you're healthy and you're getting the 100+ from Emmett. You're getting the work, the outside work that you really expect you're going to get. Dylan has developed into the quarterback. Those linemen match up better against Minnesota than they have in the past 7 years, right? It looks different. Now, you still got the PJ Fleck factor where his coordinators seem to be in the Nebraska playbook a little too much for my liking. But okay, even that still, it's one play or an accumulation of a bunch of small plays away from beating them.
Did you see that Memphis UTSA stuff coming out?
Yeah, that is.
Can we take a sec for Memphis here, DP? Can we take a sec for Memphis?
Those are my people.
Let's just Penny. It's just the general Penny Hardaway nature of that program. Should know what you're going to get. You have the softball players taking tests for them. You get the James Wiseman thing. You get them offering the Big 12 $250 million.
Have you been
to join
Memphis?
the conference?
Have you ever been to Memphis?
No, I went to Corvallis instead.
Okay, no. Memphis is its own country. Memphis, look, Nashville don't claim Memphis. Knoxville don't claim Memphis.
The state of Tennessee doesn't claim Memphis.
Parts of Arkansas claim Memphis. Parts of St. Louis claim Memphis. Right? It's a triangle of death and doom. And guess what? There are real gangsters. You know, people use the word thug just casually about athletes. Nah, bro. The administrators at Memphis, straight up thugs, straight up gangs. And listen, it has crossed over into you have to remember the Lorenzen Wright, Chris Garner Memphis Tigers, the Keith Lee Memphis Tigers. You got to go all the way back in the Memphis Tigers and realize who they were, and that this football program has come from nowhere, from the depths, from the bowels of the country. Memphis has become irrelevant. Why? Because they get them dogs. They got them dudes. And listen, those are hustlers and grinders, and they don't care. They look at Tennessee. They stand in the parking lot on the bye weeks wearing jerseys, just growling at Vol fans. Just growl. Memphis.
All right, Memphis. All right, Memphis. All right. We just need to acknowledge the Memphis of it all.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty incredible.
Oh, listen. When somebody tells you who they are, believe them.
I believe it is time for us to take a break on that note. We'll be back with more during On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. Save $28 or more when you join today. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. So join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Find your nearest club and join today. Deal ends July 31st.
See Home Club for details.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio, video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has zero hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Roll-Offs make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Roll-Offs, cleanup made simple.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Rolling right along here during On the Block. Austin Norman and DP with you. 4:30 segments during On the Block are brought to you by the great people of the Struckweiler family at Heartland Windows, Heartland of Nebraska Windows. They're based out of Hallam, Nebraska, and they offer a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give them a call today for more info, 402-430-3852. Or you can visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. DP, while I pull up the information, make sure I don't speak out of turn, a few more birthday wishes for you. We got Aaron, or just Aaron, I guess. We have Augie, and, of course, the QB coach, Barry Thompson, on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line.
Oh, you got to appreciate it. Got it. My high school quarterback. That was my captain. Oh, captain, my captain. And rightfully so. And I'm kind of amazed. That's probably why, failure wasn't really an option. I had really good people in my circle. So, it's that. Is it Augie or OG?
It's Augie. It's I know the guy who's come in a couple times. His last name starts with the Og sound. So he's Augie.
All right, bro. All right. All right, Augie. Well, that's what we're going to do. All right.
Now, he's a Dirty Tar Heel. So he and I go back and forth during quarter three from time to time.
But you have to whisper, Dirty Tar Heel.
Dirty Tar Heel. Dirty Tar Heels trying to leave the ACC for the SEC. In case you missed that discussion, that was corner three on Friday. So
it's going to make me punch Ghost. It's going to make me throw hands at Ghost. That of all the teams in the ACC, in the Atlantic Coast Conference, historically, now look, I'm a member of the club that Maryland should have never left the Atlantic Coast Conference. Shouldn't have. They just shouldn't have. Of all the teams that are currently in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and remember, some have already partnered with the SEC. Now, to me, it seemed like, okay, who are these football players? These look like athletes, or are these military guys? And those look like dudes.
I'm sure, but yeah,
those look like dudes. Yeah, South Carolina had a relationship. Clemson has a relationship, so it makes sense. Florida State, that's a natural. Natural. To me, the idea of Florida and Florida State playing every year in football gives me the warm and fuzzies. Let's have that happen. Let's do that. But from the ACC, if you said there's another school that needs to find their way over there, it was not North Carolina. Without Belichick, North Carolina football doesn't belong. It doesn't belong.
It also dragged down the SEC basketball product at this point, but that's another conversation.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know. I don't. If it's Nike and I'm in the SEC, I get it.
That was just the hater talking down to you.
I understand.
Tongue firmly played to the
I
cheek.
fully understand. But why would you break up the triangle? The magic triangle of Duke, NC State, UNC. Why would you break that up? That doesn't make sense to me.
That's where the reporting and the way it was presented didn't match up, because the headline that everyone glommed onto is, oh, Carolina's talking to the SEC. What the reporting is that Carolina has reached out to the SEC and would be most interested in joining the SEC during the next round of realignment. According to the reporting, Carolina doesn't want to kick any of that off. but they're angling so that when this happens, because right now, DP, do you know what the ACC exit fee would be?
It is a crazy number, mainly thanks Florida State.
$165 million to leave the ACC this year. It drops by $18 million a year to a manageable $75 million by 2030, 2031. So Carolina says trying to position themselves to go to the SEC if the ACC breaks up. But DP, the more I've thought about this, I think Carolina's fine anyways, because we know who the two major drivers of realignment are. It's not the conferences, it's the TV networks. We know SEC and ACC share a television provider. Even if I think the Big Ten and the ACC might be a better high-level fit for what their chancellors and presidents claim to value in college athletics, mostly the college part, there's no way the TV networks are letting the Big Ten and the ACC partner up cross-network like that, to form one super mega conference and then leave the SEC and the Big 12 together. It's Big 10, Big 12, maybe throw Pac-12 in there down the road, depending on how those schools do in the next handful of years. And then it's SEC, ACC partnering up on the other side.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, the triangle is one market. It's not even the biggest market in the state.
No.
It's not even the biggest market in several states.
No.
So is the real value in splitting up and allowing two conferences to share a smaller market? Like, is that the value of it? No. The real value of it is, one, Nike.
Mm-hmm.
And having the Jordan partnership certainly plays into the SEC. There's value in having the Michael Jordan brand.
Isn't Florida a Jordan school? At least for football, they were.
But I mean, think about it, because other schools would peek over the fence, right? If you're Vanderbilt, you're holding on for dear life, right? There's certain programs in the SEC that, quite frankly, don't belong. Now, I'm still going to wait.
Missouri.
Right? I'm still going to wait. Like, how's that a thing? I'm still going to wait for a grown-up to walk into the room and say, just wave the hand, raise the hand and say, listen, can we be grown-ups and just realign based on common sense and logic?
Mm-hmm.
Can we tell me, if 4 conferences ain't it, let's go to 8 conferences, right? Because we can find 8 specific regions of this country
and put 10 teams that fit in said
and
region.
have them balanced. You could put 12 teams in. You could put 15 teams in, right? Because of balance. Because of balance, geographical balance, financial balance, right? Same sort of fan base, same sort of climate, same sort of weather, right? Because you don't want an Oregon team traveling to Nebraska or traveling to Central Florida. It's not the same.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. So if some adult and somebody is going to make a lot of money, Austin, by simply saying, okay, if we put all the Power Fours and their money and their resources in a pool, what is the even split? Now, the SEC will tell you we should get a bigger split because we're the SEC. But they would have to acknowledge that they have more value when the Big Ten has equal value. They have more value. You're in the neighborhood. This is a 4 or 8 house neighborhood. It's a city or a county with 8 pieces of property. And the value of one equals the value or touches the value of the others. And there's simplicity in that. And listen,
you know who has 8 houses on their block?
Yeah.
The NFL.
Yeah, and it certainly, right? And they still don't have it right. They still don't have it right, because I don't know why Dallas is in the East. But hey, man, do what you do.
I thought you said I don't know why Dallas is in the league, but
I know why they're in the league. We all need a villain. That's why. That's why.
Who is the villain franchise if not Dallas? Let's say the Jerry world gets wiped off the map. Who's the NFL villain?
Ooh.
The franchise that everyone loves to hate.
That is such a diabolical question.
Raiders fans, but
Raiders fans,
maybe?
Raiders want to be, but you have to be relevant to be the villain. Like, you can't be a heel and a jobber at the same time. Like, that's the wrestler who thinks he was a bad guy and he gets booed, but he never wins.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
really, we know you're just there for the good guy to look good.
Philly?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No. I would lean on the Raiders only because of longevity, but on the real, currently, it's Kansas City.
Currently, but do you really think that lasts?
Yeah, it's
Do you really think that has staying power?
Simple's
though?
number one fan agrees. He went right there mentally with me. He went right there with me. Well done, Simple's number one fan. Here's the thing. For a bunch of reasons. Now, it was the Patriots. No, and it's still the Patriots. It's the Patriots, but the Patriots stink now. So
it's punching down at this point.
Yeah, here's the thing about all the villains. Karma works. Because a lot of those organizations that, quite frankly, right, the Bucks are still trying to wash off the stench of Bradyism, right? They got their Brady glory, they got your chip, but not the same. Baker Mayfield's like, well, wait a minute, why is this my problem? Like, what did I do? I think the Patriots, because of the run, right? If Hoodie was still there, they'd be the evil one.
Slam dunk.
They're not.
Same color scheme ish to the Cowboys.
Yep.
If that helps.
Well, the red, white, when you go to the red, white, and blue, you have to be careful. You just do. You just do.
You got the Massachusetts general attitude and people's feelings toward that city that it's associated with.
You're still Boston. You're still Boston. I mean, they were the Boston Patriots, as a matter of fact. So, and they didn't move that far. Like, you just pay higher rent now. Like,
and make it hard to get to now.
Right? Like, hey, let me hate you even more. So I think it's still, the Patriots still aren't far enough away to not be the supervillain. If they stink for 2 more years, then yeah, it falls into it. I'm trying to think of who the Patriots would be on the college level, right? But we get into dangerous, murky water because it looks vaguely familiar to Nebraska.
Well, yeah.
It looks.
Well, let's play this out then. Let's say the Yankees get wiped off the face of the map in Major
Red
League
Sox.
Baseball.
Red Sox, Dodgers.
Okay.
Red Sox, Dodgers.
I was going to go Dodgers first.
Well, here's the thing.
Don't forget that the Dodgers came from New York as well.
The Dodgers are your rich friend, right?
But we don't hate them because they got rich after the Yankees.
Yeah, like we understand we needed them to fight the other evil empire, right? We needed them. They're the 49ers to the Cowboys. We needed they had to have some superpower to take on the villain, right? The evil villain. The Red Sox were just kind of poking the evil villain, right? They were the one, the villain who wants to be the top villain and out of proximity just wants to hang out until that villain gets knocked off by the superhero. So
problem for them is that villain is Wile E. Coyote and they never die.
Right. Like, it's just like, oh, what's the adage from Batman? Why don't you? No, from Gladiator. Why don't you simply just die? So yeah, I think that's fair. That in those spaces, the SEC is going through it. Everybody loved when Texas stunk. They're good now when we realize we're okay when the villain is good for a stretch because it makes us all raise our standard again. Alabama coming back to the pack is really cool. Like, that's why we were rooting for Kirby Smart until it was like, hey, Kirby, calm down, Kirby, calm down. Because now he's the one, but now he's not the one anymore because we went through it with Florida, right? Made him the superhero. Hey, they're the supervillain. And they excelled at being the supervillain.
UConn men's basketball.
Oh, bruh, listen. The way you talked about Memphis, give Florida their save their flowers. Give Florida listen.
Little old Gainesville.
But that's the beauty of it, right? Memphis is a big city. There's a lot of substance and fiber to Memphis. Gainesville is the creepy cousin who sits in the corner of the reunion, and you know things about him. Like, you know he's up to no good. Like, why are you over there, Uncle Fred? What are you doing with your crazy self? You over there, and you know, hey, where did Fred go? Hey, Fred's in it. He's got the silver. He's got the silver.
Last thing before we go to break, 3181 chimes in on our Starter Human Jewelers text line. If there's a college villain, it's got to be Miami or Notre Dame.
Miami is the Joker.
Miami's not good enough right now.
Miami's the Joker. They're when the Joker's down, when they're in the prison and they become they become introspective.
Want to know how I got these scars?
Right? The face paint, they're doing all of it.
I
right?
was a boy.
Yeah, and then they're going to come back and be. Notre Dame can't be the villain. They can't be.
You can hate them, but can they be the villain?
They can't be. They're just. Notre Dame is Karen. Every Karen who's just going to tell you that's not what the community code says we should be doing. Privately, I'm going to park wherever I want, but you can't.
Rules for thee.
Rules for thee,
Freedom
but not for Indy.
Let's go ahead and take our final break of the show. We'll wrap up on the block after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Copple's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Copple since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Get the baler you need without breaking the bank at Landmark Implement. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% fixed for 36 months or stretch it out with a 2.9% fixed rate for 60 months on used John Deere 560M and R-Series round balers. Reliable, field ready, and priced to move. Don't miss your chance to lock in serious savings before the next cutting rolls around. Visit your local Landmark Implement or head to landmarkimp.com today and experience the Landmark difference.
In today's digital world, technology works great until it doesn't. At Hamilton, we work to keep your business up and running. We are more than an IT company. We're your partner, focused on customized solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Say goodbye to tech stress and unexpected IT costs when you hire Hamilton. Together, we help you focus on what really matters. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Since 1983, Fast Mike's Rollouts have been a trusted and reliable company in Lincoln and the surrounding areas. Fast Mike's handles all sides of construction projects, home renovations, or big cleanouts. With the perfect size dumpster to fit your needs, Fast Mike's Rollouts will haul it all. With same-day delivery in Lincoln, affordable rates, and top-notch service, Fast Mike's Rollouts make cleanup quick and easy. Call now at 402-450-6828 or visit us online at fastmikesrolloffs.com. Book your dumpster today. Fast Mike's Rolloffs, cleanup made simple.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We're back. Final segment of On the Block. Austin Norman, GP with you. Final segment of the show brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha. Get your season tickets. Renew them today. LOVVOMA.com. Looking forward to hearing from Nick tomorrow and what the Huskers said at Big Ten Volleyball Media Days. Plenty more fall camp to get to as well. DP, this might be sacrilegious to some, but I also can't find a way to hate Notre Dame right now. I know Nebraska had that good couple matchups in the early 2000s with the Domers. And I know that they have that reputation of, oh, you're a Notre Dame fan, you're a Yankees fan, you're a Cowboys fan, right? That's kind of the, and probably Lakers get thrown in there as well. But Notre Dame just has not been a big piece of my college football history. It kind of floating out there, college football playoff contention sometimes, but normally, but I just wasn't mad at them for making the run they did to the college football playoff, even though I think a lot of people would have told me I should be.
So I'm old enough that Notre Dame was my football adolescence, college football adolescence. Sunday mornings, getting to hear, I want to say it's Lindsey Scott, calling highlights with Paul Hornig. We take you further into the action. Because they would show the Notre Dame highlights. So you got Notre Dame and Grambling every Sunday morning before the NFL.
Gotcha.
And so you followed them in the days of Terry Hanratty, Joe Theismann before he was Theismann, Joe Montana, Eric Pennick, Tom Gatewood, Seymour at tight end. Like you got to see the Browners. They were everything because you saw them more than anybody else, and they were good. They may not have won the title, but they were good. And they were entertaining. And they stayed that way. Like, I'm sure if you look at the numbers, there have been years, sub 7-win years for Notre Dame. But I don't remember them not being a bowl game. I don't remember them being below the line. I know that there have been.
Yeah.
And they've always been entertaining, even when they were even when you had Manti Te'o. You were still good. Yeah, there was things to laugh about. Like, bruh, your leader, you were not going to beat Alabama if your leader couldn't tell somebody was catfishing or not. But it was still there. And it's still Midwest. Like, South Bend, Indiana is a rustic college town, right? It's not the big city. It's kind of covered in its own place. And it has Touchdown Jesus, which tells you exactly what it thinks of itself, and it wants you to think of it that way. So I have respect for Notre Dame. I actually enjoy it when Notre Dame's like Pittsburgh, the Steelers to me. I like it when they're good. Like all of football is better when Notre Dame's good, better than bad. And there's certain programs that fall in that line. Notre Dame's at the top of it. It's like Duke. I'm sorry for those that don't like it, but like Duke basketball. College basketball is better when Duke basketball is better.
I agree.
Like, yeah, of course you do.
Shocker.
Right?
This just in.
Austin thinks it's better for everyone. But there's certain programs that have that. The NFL is better when the Niners are good. Like, It just is. Like, sorry. It just is. And there are teams, and you could say that the NFL's better when the Cowboys are good.
Is it though?
You could say that.
It's the Cowboys.
You could say that. I'm okay. Well, I don't want the Cowboys to suck. I just don't want. I want them to continue not winning Super Bowls.
So you're saying like fit in that 7 to 12 win range, be in playoff contention for the drama, and then fail spectacularly?
It is the Tony Romo fumbling on the extra point Cowboys that I love the most. Right? Because
so the Dak Prescott sliding down after quarterback draw with no timeouts left Cowboys that you love.
Get your dreams all the way up. Aspire and let them we them boys. And then the next day, crickets. Because there's gonna come a Monday when the Cowboys are gonna cowboy. And I love that day as much as any in all of sports.
DP, I know I asked you for an hour. Any chance you can stick around till we get Jay on the horn?
I got you, bro. I got you. Where else would I rather be but right here, right now?
Appreciate that. We will get into some more player-led leadership conversation. A big piece of that, single-digit numbers. Matt Rule was asked about that today. Who are some of those players we think could influence the direction of the 2025 Nebraska football season? Keep your thoughts rolling in, 402-464-5685. Give us your thoughts on who you would want to see earn a single-digit number for Nebraska football this year. Same voices, me and DP. It'll be old school coming up after this.